and I can take P2 for an interview.
Yeah, cool. You want me to do them separately on that?
Yeah, perfect.
Right, are we ready?
I think we're good. Yeah, we're streaming. We're good.
Right, Pure Exceed, you're here, yeah?
Yep, hi.
Good race, man. You made up 10 places, I think it was, in the race. 11 in the end because of the penalty, which landed you P3. It was a good race. Like, what did you make of it?
Yeah, it was a decent race. I had fine-tuned some things on the setup for the actual race, which made my rear end a bit loose, which gave me a little bit of lack of pace, but in general it was a pretty decent race. Loads of fair racing, sometimes some incidents that weren't great, but in general it was great racing and it was really fun.
You're in the Red Bull, correct?
Yes.
You had quite a bit of a battle with Tommy early on, your teammate.
Yeah, I did.
Were you scared of hitting each other? Did you want the position more than he did, do you think? Were you gonna back out at any point? Like, what was the strategy for you?
Are you talking about the 5-lapper or the main race?
The lap where you two were battling.
I was actually just trying to stay with him and get as far away from Shifter as I could, because I knew I was planning on taking the mediums to the end, because otherwise I would have probably not even finished top 10. So I was trying to lose as little time as possible. So I don't think it was worth fighting, since we already had an incident in Austria where we both spun after making some unfortunate contact.
It's never good when teammates collide. Are you pleased with P3 in the end then?
In general, it was quite good for the lack of general pace I had today. And congratulations to Cameron. It was a great pass that what he made on in the last corner. And Tommy also drove an amazing race with barely any faults.
Thanks, man.
You say you want me to do Cameron next?
No, I'll jump up to P2. So, Tommy, congratulations, P2. Talk us through your qualifying and your sprint race. Yeah, you look like you had a pretty clean qualifying and sprint race.
Yeah, quality was decent. I was happy with my lap. Obviously, the Cameron was very quick around here, so I was happy to be that close to him. It actually could have been Paul. Sector 3 wasn't great on my last lap though, so kind of threw that away. But starting P2 then in the 5-lapper, the sprint was. Yeah, it's different, you just 5-lap dash, you just have to go all out. There's no tire conservation or whatever, so it was at the end. I thought I had Cameron, but then I just ran out of battery and he got me going on to the last lap. So, and then the main race, obviously Fanjo got ahead of me off the line, but I wasn't really too concerned about that because he was on the quicker tire. I started on the mediums and he was on the soft, so I was just trying to stay in Cameron and Fanjo's DRS, and then unfortunately I spun. I think it was like lap 3 or 4. I lost the car and lost a good few positions. But the safety car came out and I managed to go into the hards and I managed to make up a good few positions, and I think I got up to P3. Then Fanjo spun, and I think Cameron was out by himself for a good bit as me, Shifters and Exceed were just fighting for a good while, and then safety car came out for obviously last few laps, and it was a good battle with Cameron. I enjoyed it, it was a good race.
Yeah, tell us about the very last corner. So last corner of the last lap, on the stream we kind of had you pegged to win it, running down the last straight at the back of the circuit.
Yeah.
Cameron probably made an ambitious dive into the last corner to take the win. What do you make of it?
If I was in his shoes, I'd do the same thing. It was exactly close enough, but it is what it is. I'm happy with P2, considering the start of the race I was a bit worried that I might be in for a bad result, so I'll take it.
That's it. So you're P2 in the championship at the minute, so I think you'll hold that. Obviously Cameron's gonna jump another 7 points ahead of you. Do you think P2 is where you're going to sit in the championship, or are you looking further?
No, I'm looking for a P1. It's only start of the season,
That's it.
Obviously Austria, Britain I liked. I should have done better in Britain, but Austria was a track that I don't really like that track at all, so I had a good result there for like in comparison to the rest of the calendar, you know.
That's it. How do you find the new performance patch? Is it suiting your driving style? Have you do you find your racing better with it?
I think it is. I find it affects different tracks differently. You know, Bahrain, you can really feel the car how much slower it is. I think so. It's something different, but I'm certainly enjoying it. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Best of luck with the next couple of races. We'll be commentating. We'll be tuned in. So we're looking forward to this battle between yourself and Cameron heating up. All the best.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy. Cheers.
All right. Do you want to take P1 then?
Yeah, I'll leave Cameron. So Cameron, obviously, congratulations on the race win.
Yeah, thanks.
You had obviously you were quickest in qualifying. Top of your lap there. You were close with Tommy in terms of qualifying pace, but do you think that you had an edge over him? Is there any way? Did you tweak your setup at all?
Well, I actually just got my setup from one of my friends, and the only thing I actually tweaked was because he runs ABS, he had his brake bias too much to the rear, so I just clicked that up too, and that was kind of good to go. Car felt really good, and I'm actually really enjoying the new performance patch, to be honest. Car's actually quite nice to drive, but yeah, it was a decent quali for the sprint. I reckon I could have gone a tenth or two faster. The final sector I kind of mucked up, but luckily I still got pole. But yeah, it was very good overall.
So obviously you started on pole position for the race. You looked very good off the line. There was obviously the ever looming threat of Fangio. There was a lot of safety cars, a lot of mix-ups happened, and then you looked like you were running away with it for a while when Fangio dropped it in sector 1, and then the safety car came out. Were you worried at that point, being on old hards?
I wasn't worried. I was just a bit tentative because I didn't know what would happen after that, but I kept my head up and I just concentrated a lot harder after that restart. And yeah, it was hard at the restart, holding off. I can't even remember who it was now.
Tommy,
yeah, sorry. Holding off Tommy. He was very, very quick, and I knew that when we were going down the main straight on the last lap, I seen his ERS flashing, so I didn't deploy it all on that straight. I kind of knew that if I didn't get him on the main straight, there was other opportunities around the lap, as in Bahrain there's quite a lot of opportunities to outbrake your opponents. So
you obviously did eventually get taken by Tommy, and then you two were battling it out right down to the wire. And obviously on the last corner, the last lap, you made quite an ambitious move going down the inside of him. There was a little bit of contact, and you did nudge him off track. Do you think you'll go to the stewards about that, and do you think the move was fair?
I personally think it was fair. He said he'd do the same thing, so he must have thought it was fair but hard.
If it does the championship, and do you think you'll come out on top?